Welcome newbies to my Novice Guide Part 4. And what you just saw wasn't fake. That's right, it was a single run, one blade, full sweep of max limit break opponents. So if you want to get just as good as me, stick around. I'll be talking about the best blades for Arena, how to climb, the good and bad strategies, and even advanced tricks in the player's arsenal. Timestamps are in the description, so let's get started. So you're trying and trying to raise your arena rank, but keep failing. And now that a new season is out, you want to change that. So let's talk about the new arena changes. The point system got buffed. Now when you fight, you earn a bonus based on the attacker's remaining amount of blades. If you're on the offensive, you want to keep your blades alive because having all three blades alive will net you a 50% bonus of your received points, and keeping two blades alive gives you an additional 20%. For playing defense, you're wanting your opponent to lose as many blades as possible. For eliminating one blade, you'll receive a minus 30% point reduction, and for two blades, you'll receive a minus 60% reduction in the points you would have lost. This now makes it easier to climb and less painful when falling. On top of that, the blind system has improved to activate sooner for those wanting a full experience but can't. Players will not be able to bully or target weaker opponents, but they can still select which blades they want to face off against. But not all news is good. They removed ticket purchase limits, which might sound nice, but actually cripples the competitive environments. Now it becomes which whale can spend the most amount on this game to climb to the #1 spot. Many players are unhappy about this, and I'm sure you are too. You can go to Discord to tell the devs how much of a problem reverting the ticket limit is, and even the masking system is getting out of hand. We know that there are bots in Arena, which in my opinion shouldn't even be in a player versus player environment, and now you can't even see who you beat, removing any euphoria you'd receive from knowing who you beat in the leaderboards. Players should be able to flex a little onto other players as well. The only good thing is masking the blade's limit break, since it's really hard to get maximum LB, but even that is hidden in battle history. Another piece of bad news is that the kill timer still only affects the attacker, which makes defender class blades useless offensively. It really should be fair and affect both sides equally. Now that that's out of the way, let's continue with some general tips about Arena. Number 1, if you're just starting out, then you'll be around the lower rankings with other players starting out just like you. Thus, the most popular booster's blade will be the most common, even if you're a pro. Players like to try out a new blade they can more easily get their hands on, so building a team against this blade's elemental strength is highly recommended. I'd say keep in mind the last 3 boosters' blades. Number 2, utilize the right sets in Arena. There are many sets that work great for solo play or against other bots, but when it comes to an Arena team, it's best to stay away from certain ones. The biggest example is Recovery Set. This set, while good for lasting longer, will be worse on the offensive because of the Arena timer. Unless you're this guy that's built for lifesteal, then I suggest not using lifesteal in every blade on your offense team. And on the defense, it's somehow worse, as in the AI really doesn't know how to deal damage against human players. Another one to keep in mind is the Predator set, which boosts damage versus afflicted targets, but only Venom Hydra uses it well because of the DOT damage over time, and stalling for time is a death sentence in Arena. And of course, you should match each blade with its ideal set, like giving Chronos Thunder an SP recovery set for faster starts, especially with Lexter 5. Number 3, climb fast. In order to gain the weekly rewards, especially when the Arena points reset every season, you'll want to climb fast, even at the expense of diamonds, which you will regain through an increase in weekly rewards. Number 4, don't build defenders for offense or offenders for defense. Defenders die too slowly on offense, and the one-sided kill timer destroys them, while playing offense on defense will make you a quick target for others. Consider this: you're a player who has to grind on a daily basis. You'd prefer your matches to be fast, right? Well, defenders slow down gameplay, even if they're just as or easier to win against. So you know how to climb Arena, but do you know how to catch yourself from the fall? For this, you'll need to know and understand what the best blades are for Arena's defense and offense. Let's begin with defense. In order to climb up, one must not fall down. So the current meta in the Arena are defender blades, mainly because of the Arena timer that one-sidedly gives the advantage to the defense side. The top defender in Arena is currently Volcanic Titan, and there aren't many amazing 5-star counters to Earth attributes. Ancient Keeper is good because of the many strong to mid-earth blades used for offense, like Kirindal and Chronos Thunder. Infernus is a good defense blade as he reflects damage, But his Dragon Tail skill isn't made for his kit. Blades like Flame Saka give bonus speed as the leader, which is a massive benefit for the AI to deal a lot more damage than any other team skill, on top of Saka being a strong blade choice. Another good team skill synergy is Kronos Thunder. While you might say Batlord is better, but when it comes to blades like Kirindile, Volcanic Titan, Luminescence, though bad defense blade example, and other blades utilize their one and secondary skills much more than their axis skills. For Volcanic Titan, its axis skill increases the damage dealt by both skill 1 and 2, while Kirindile primarily focuses on using skill number 1, even while using other skills. Safe to say that a total 10% damage increase is better than crit chance that might not be fully utilized. And speaking of which, sometimes the best defense is the best offense. Even if your team is made up of defenders, that in itself might deter others from attacking you. But some offense blades are reasonably good in both defense and offense, thus it's good to invest in one or two of them to be able to climb the ranks faster. Now let's talk about the best offense blades. The top blade, I will say, is Kronos Thunder when it comes to high damage output. This is because he has the highest DPS in the game as a blade, being capable of chunking 20k damage in the first few seconds of the round. But don't get too excited, as while he's the strongest damage dealer, he's also the most skill-intensive blade. He requires optimal movement and perfect timing, especially when it comes to hitting as many thunder projectiles on the opponent as possible. But because of the sheer damage, hard to avoid damage in general, and good mobility, he's also good at defense. As for the other blades, I recommend Blazing Leon, Trident, Arc Dragon Solaris, Neo Dragon Eclipse, Flame Saka, Batlord, even Cerberus. All good blades to fight with and good at defense as well. The ones that are good at offense but not so much at defense are blades like Luminescence, Storm Shark, and Kirindile. While good at offense, the AI in the game can be outsmarted, even unintentionally, by a human player. Luminescence doesn't stay away from the opponent. Storm Shark, while good, can't utilize the built-in dodge and doesn't stay inside his water pool from LB3. Because the AI randomly uses abilities, simply staying away from Kirindile makes him miss most of its skills. Blades you'd want to avoid are Kaon, despite having slow effects due to the fact its abilities are hard to hit and it has no movement capabilities, it won't be as effective in dealing damage. Even the LB1 healing isn't going to help when the blade itself can't even hit the enemy. Thus it's at the bottom of the arena defense. Luminescence is a no-go, as not only does it not have any instant skills, it can easily be countered by other players. While those are the best examples of the worst choices, the other blades are probably fine if you've already invested a lot into them. And offensive blades are never a bad option, as they can speed up gameplay by a lot. For the final gift of knowledge, advanced tricks. They're easier in practice than in real battles. Let me show you what I mean. Let's start simple. When you hit an opponent's weakness, or they hit your blades, it causes a brief freeze, something changes, maybe a hidden timer ticking down. And as we know, when blades clash, their directions flip. But what if two blades overlap? Instead of fusing, which would have been awesome, they push each other out. So now, when one blade moves over the other, its weakness overlaps, assuming the hitboxes stretch all the way down. I'm showing this right here. One blade locks its direction, the other keeps changing, constantly triggering a weakness freeze. Let's change perspective. A blade spinning on top of another can stay balanced if it keeps hitting the weakness. Either the enemy's weakness is shifting slowly, or maybe the hitbox is being overwritten by multiple stun zones. There's a specific area where the side meets the weakness. Collide here, and the opponent flips. But since we keep turning, we never get off. Another way to look at this, if a blade slows enough, the arrow disappears, and even though it's still moving, the game acts like a weakness is being struck. So, did the devs intend for this, or is it some weird emergent tech? Either way, how do we use this? This is called a blade stick. You dash right as you hit the opponent and flick the joystick to start turning instantly. But don't overdo it, just enough to keep turning. Make it smooth, avoid sharp turns or full spins. The hardest part? The setup dash. The rest comes down to muscle memory and reaction time. The direction you turn depends on how you hit. If you're early, you phase through. Too late, you get booted. It's basically frame perfect, or at least it'll feel like it when you practice. Oh, and there's another spot a blade stops moving. Simulation dungeon, but let's be real. By then, unlike me, you'll probably have a maxed blade to clear this effortlessly by the time you master this technique. All right. Let's introduce something practical. Introducing the wall. Yeah, like wall bangs, but different. You wedge yourself between the wall and your opponent. That locks you both in place. Since you're up against a wall, your blade always faces away from it. You'd think you'd take wall damage, but nope. This is what I call a wall stick. It excels with buff-based skills, like Volcanic Titan's transformation. You pop the buff and lock them in place, but wait, it gets better. You can actually transition from a wall stick to a blade stick, though that's way harder with a moving target. AI's simplicity makes setups easy, usually at the start of a match, though depending on the arena, pulling it off consistently can get tricky. Storm Shark's jump is a perfect wall stick setup, especially with LB3. Even if you mess up, you can chain wall bangs. The arena slow effect plus his kit equals chef's kiss. We can also use the time delay, like Kiringdale, cancelling its movement using the freeze to chain a closer combo. It's hard, but deadly. You can't use a dash skill with Cronus Thunder, and a teleport setup isn't practical, but if you time it just right, all 8 lightning shots can land when colliding. Best when not being chased from behind. Venom Hydra, dash as soon as you hit. You'll cancel knockback and land multiple hits, or just from the side. Let's also utilize that phase through. This can be used to reposition yourself, like against Kirin, or to gain as much distance where otherwise the dash would have been stopped dead. I probably missed a few tricks, so let me know in the comments. And hey, while you're down there, like and subscribe if you like this longer formed content. Let me know. Not that it would matter. I honestly prefer shorter videos, which I'm going to focus on in the future. I'm probably worn out, so I'll be doing other things as I do YouTube on the side. And if any devs are watching this, please don't remove these things. These aren't harmful bugs or glitches, and they're not easy to pull off in the first place. In fact, these increase the skill gap of the game. It would really suck to ruin everyone's fun of the game. And this is the last combat guide. Hope you enjoyed it. But before you go, check out the Q&A on the latest updates. Dam Kaji!